How will you integrate a biblical worldview into your content area classroom in terms of teacher-learner relationships?
I think just like God is the overall authority of his body, so should the teacher have authority over their classroom. That can be factored into the manager role a teacher should fulfill, but like John 15:15 says, we're no longer servants but friends of God. So I think there should be a communication with the students and a supporting role that the teacher should take on to reflect this concept. Relationship.
I think it's really important to remember what it says in Ephesians 4:32. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you. So I think it's very important to remember to treat all of my students equally and not hold things against the students. Make sure that I am very loving toward them and keep an open environment. Make sure that all of them have opportunities, so my authority is still established, but there's an open relationship in the classroom. Well, I was reading in 2 Thessalonians 3:15, and it says, "Do not regard him as an enemy, but warn him as a brother." And a similar thing is in Colossians 3:21. It says, "Fathers, do not provoke your children, lest they become discouraged." So I think it's very important to make sure that there's a limit on the behavioral issues, because I don't want to discourage the kids or make them feel unloved in any way. But it's also very important to make sure that they do get disciplined, so they understand what needs to be done. So I can do things like give the kids who are listening a solo, if I can tell that they're working very hard, things like that.
I think the concept of script plays a large role in management, and just like I was saying before, the role of a manager can assume authority, in which I think the most important aspect of that is guiding others and getting to know the students. That includes things like their physical environment, i.e. knowing where to set up the chairs for the choir classroom and what makes rehearsal more effective, the social environment, identifying the relationships between the students and possible cliques that may occur, and academic environment, which is the best method or activity to deliver the content or to actually deliver the rehearsal, and doing all these things in the mindset of a manager who wants the project and product to be effective.
In the classroom.
I think Psalm 25:8-9 does a pretty good job of explaining that God is both fair and just and corrects the misguided. I think that it's important to set clear guidelines and expectations in a classroom, and when they're broken, be consistent in correcting behavior. But I also think our God is one of love and mercy, so we shouldn't just set up disciplining standards, but also set up rewards if their behavior is good. So if we learn the song by this date, then maybe we'll have a karaoke date, or if we go through a rehearsal without any interruptions or talking, then we can have a video Friday, or something that allows the students to be motivated to pursue the rehearsal.
In your area of study?
I will make sure that I plan ahead and that I'm still flexible to change. So it says in Proverbs 24:27, prepare your work outside, get everything ready for yourself in the field, and after that, build your house. So make sure that I'm prepared for any situation, but still be ready to adjust to students' learning. So give them the opportunity, say, on all instruments and orchestra, but if I notice that certain things are clicking better with certain students, then I'm ready to change and I've been prepared to adjust the lesson.
I think, like our class verse says, Colossians 3:16a, we should let the message about Christ completely fill our lives, and we use that wisdom to teach and instruct each other. In the context of the classroom, we should use our biblical knowledge to represent that worldview. More than that, I think this verse sets up a foundation of how to interact with all the parts of life, i.e. my specific content area is music, so I should gather all of the knowledge and experience I can to be able to guide my students in that area. And even if I'll be in public schools, the great thing about music is that a lot of the greatest pieces in the past were written about the glory and the power of God. So while I may not be able to deliver like a full-out sermon about God, a door is at least open to talk about the history and context of the pieces.